Hello and welcome back to Rage Gaming and more Arc Raiders. Today it's time for our updated blueprint guide for 1.7 and beyond with everything that we currently know. There's obviously been an ongoing experience understanding the blueprint system with the devs telling us almost nothing ever. But now after, our combined hundreds and hundreds of hours between the three of us that make these videos, alongside community findings that stack up the results, especially post-buff where things happen a lot more now, we do feel very confident about our current blueprint RNG understanding. So I'm now going to cover everything that we do know about them, how and where to find specific types, why it works, how it does. And yeah, this is after they massively buff blueprint spawn chances, then yes, nerf them not long after that, but they're still way more common than they used to be. So with that said, let's begin. To find a blueprint, there is lots of things that go into it. But maybe the fundamental thing that's going to matter is you getting lucky when you open that container. You can minimize the amount of luck required for a blueprint to spawn, and then specifically target kinds of blueprints, the pools, based on good knowledge around that. So something simple like a map event, night, you get increased loot chances. There are loot locations with the yellow or red outlines, so you got high value loot there. You have the location tag and the container types within that location as well. So last time I gave a simple example for target blueprint farming. I target the map condition or event that makes sense for the blueprints that I'm after. I consider the locations within, so I might want a blueprint that comes from commercial locations or old world, or maybe I'm after the medical ones. Then in the case of medical ones, I make sure that the location that's got the medical tag is also a higher loot location. So between low, medium or high, I aim for the red outline for the highest chances. There's also the container type within that. So for example, as I talked about last time, I said that you open car hoods and you're going to get car related parts. Even if you're not in a location that's got that mechanical tag, that's what's in a car. So yeah, by combining these facts, you can target farm specific locations, specific containers within, and ultimately specific blueprints. Blueprints spawn in pools then. You will find blueprints tied to, say, the medical pool as a simple example. So medical tag locations. You'll also be more likely to find those blueprints by increasing the chances as we just said. So map mods, location types, this example would be medical at night in a high value location, so a red outline. But there are lists of blueprints that spawn under special conditions, such as map events. It's very well known now that the hidden bunker event, that's where you're going to find volcano blueprints if you actually find one. The electromagnetic storm, that's where you're going to find snaphook blueprints. As we found across many different maps, the common denominator was the event. As was somewhat acknowledged by the devs, we have the lock gate event, which is finally back. That's where you get the bobcat blueprint. And then you have the night event in general for the tempest blueprint, which is more of a vaguer one, but at least it's more available. We have also found special blueprint spawns from maps, and I say special because it seems specifically Stella Montis after the whole expedition patch. So if you're on Stella Montis, that's where you're going to find the deadline mine blueprint, the sneaker grenade blueprint, the trailblazer, the aphelion blueprint, which by the way was added and called out by the devs, where they specifically said in the 1.7 patch, moved the aphelion blueprint drop from the matriarch to Stella Montis. So as far as just maps go, Stella Montis is the only one that I'm certain about that you get like a list of blueprints are only going to be there. And it was with that patch where they made them actually spawn, because before that you weren't finding a deadline mine. After that patch, I found 3 deadline mine blueprints while doing my first day of the expedition. And this is good to know because seeker grenades are fantastic for finishing off low health rocketeers. And you got trailblazers, which are absolutely destructive when it comes to one-shotting, say, your leapers, or doing massive burst for bastions and bombardiers in specific, which you want to kill before they get going. Here's a fun fact for you guys. Since you're going to need a lot of those explosives, the electromagnetic storm event now has a new modifier with the current patch, and it's to spawn these things. These are Fossilised Lightning, which not only salvage into explosive compound, 2 in raid, 3 out of raid, but can sell really well too. So whenever a lightning strikes, you should check that lightning location and see if one of these fossilized lightnings actually spawned. Anyway, back to blueprints. Blueprints also spawn based on container type. So if you loot a black locker, even though it's in a medical tag location, that's black locker loot. So which blueprint does that mean in the community experience? Well, of course, it's augments of weapon part blueprints. So container types also affect blueprint types in the same way we mentioned car hoods earlier for mechanical. Prime example then, augments and weapon part blueprints. These are found in the special black lockers, the black crates, and box lockers too. This is why you find those blueprints so well in the Manticore lab, in the armor room, on Bluegate. Because you've got those container types in that location, in nice condensed location, But those containers can indeed be found all over the place in different locations and maps. Stella Montis is a great example because again there's the armory room in lounge and the key room that's right there, but also the medical research room, both on the ground floor of those locations. Now another container type blueprint that's actually well known, but in this context makes a lot of sense, is the Harvester event. The 3 special containers you open after completing the Harvester event, those dip into a specific Harvester blueprint pool. That means the Equalizer and the Jupiter, special weapon blueprints of course, but now in this context, it makes sense. Other known container blueprint pools then are say Surveyor as a blueprint pool. In my experience, and a lot of the community reports have seen, weapon and attachment blueprints are commonly looted from Surveyors, the core after you kill it. This is unique for the Surveyor because even though other targets have a core, like bastions, bombardiers, even a rocketeer or leaper, you're going to find their special drives from those targets, but Surveyors don't have a drive like that. They have their own unique Surveyor blue item rather than a purple, and so with that seems to be blueprint spawns, much like you might see from a matriarch or a queen core. This was one of the first big blueprint target discoveries that happened near to launch, and they're still a good target for this purpose. Now another obvious source of blueprints is the Trials blueprint pool. These seem to provide a wide variety of blueprints, including augments and weapon attachments in my experience. So if you are hunting blueprints, then making sure you at least get 3 stars in all of your trials every week, as we all know, is an important thing to be doing. But this is especially important because after the big 1.7 patch, we started to see reports of other unexpected blueprints, such as this example that was posted on Reddit where they got a bobcat blueprint. So just to re-emphasize, do your trials, get 3 stars in all of them every week. Next we have 2 other pools to mention that are pretty damn well known by this point. There's the Raider Blueprint pool, so that's your Raider caches, which is also an event by the way, but then your weapon cases, ammo cases, Raider bags. You can find the very common Osprey, Anvil, Venator and Toro in these locations, alongside also weapon part blueprints. But to be clear, other weapons are possible in these Raider containers. For example, this wipe, I got my bettina from an ammo crate, so that Raider pool of weapon blueprints. And yes, this is post, bettina is the only blueprint everyone finds. This is actually a rare find. And then there's medical blueprint pool as well. So your Vita shot, spray, and defib, as well as augments you can find there too. You find these in any medical tag location, and I got all of these in like my first day of the expedition because I was absolutely spamming Stella Montis and that medical research area as well. I also want to be clear as well, you can find all kinds of things across many containers, across many locations, across many maps. So while you might find attachments from Surveyors very commonly, you can also find attachments in all kinds of containers like a Stella Montis bin or something. Last thing to mention is a quick word on the quest related blueprints. These ones are guaranteed coming from specific quests, so your trigger grenade blueprint, probably the most important one, right? That's after completing the Sparks Fly quest. There's the lure grenade blueprint, which comes after the quest Greasing Her Palms. There's the burletta blueprint, which comes after Industrial Espionage. And then of course there's the hullcracker and the launch ammo that comes together from the quest The Major's Footlocker. But yeah, there you have it. That's my overview of everything I know about blueprints currently, based on my own hundreds of hours of play, but also specific target testing, largely done on Cotton's part, so shout out and thank you to him. And of course, importantly, in the last few weeks, where they majorly buffed blueprint spawns, a lot more community finds and posts about it, giving us a lot more resources and data to work with. We're going to be on the lookout for the next major patch if they do change anything big or if there's other useful discoveries. But until next time, I've been Hollow, you've been you, and thanks for watching.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.